So before I start today's video, I do want to announce that the Sims team officially re-released The Sims 1 and The Sims 2 available now for purchase on PC. And if you want to use my creator code SpringSims at checkout, I would greatly appreciate it because I do get a very small commission off of each purchase on the EA app or thesims.com. And if you don't know me by now, I am a diehard Sims fan through and through. Been playing since I was 4 for the past 25 years, and I talk about it constantly. I could yap your ears off for 10,000 hours of all of my drama. That is my game. But let's go ahead and hop into today's video. So for the past couple of months, I've been getting very nostalgic and replaying The Sims 2 all over again, that I wanted to be able to relearn what it was like to play with the careers, the aspirations, the hobby enthusiasms, even like the stuff from Open for Business and even Free Time and Seasons. That I wanted to make my very own 10 generation long legacy challenge in The Sims 2. Now, you're probably more familiarized with legacy challenges in The Sims 4 because it's been around for a very long time, longer than any of the iterations of The Sims, but I feel like legacy challenges always start back to The Sims 1, but The Sims 2 to me is like that one game that I always go back to no matter how I'm feeling, and I just want to experience some type of joy and a little bit of chaos. So the name of my challenge is called the Durban Legacy, and granted, I named it after my Sims last name because I thought might as well. I had no intentions of actually releasing it to the world, but my Twitch chat said, hey, let's make it into a 10 gen legacy and write it ourselves. And so this is the result of me and my Twitch chat with their ideas and my ideas, and we made something very beautiful and chaotic, and honestly, I'm really happy of what we've done together. Now, I'm going to eventually add a part 2 to this legacy challenge because I want to eventually do all the careers and all of the aspirations and everything that this game has to offer, because this game is like over 20 years old, and I feel like there's so much stuff that I still did not know existed after playing it for so many years. But if you end up doing this challenge for yourself, your Sim's last name does not have to be Durban whatsoever. But if you want your Sim's last name to be Durban, feel free to do whatever you want. But for the first gen, it reads, family is the best medicine. From living in a rural area of River Blossom Hills, the world that we got with Sims 2 Seasons, you decided that you wanted to do something new for yourself in an area where no one knew you. So you moved to Belladonna Cove, the world that we got with Sims 2 Apartment Life, where you can start a new one. You love getting your hands dirty and you have never given up on a challenge. You're ambitious to achieve all of your goals. Something simple, something easy, and have fun with it. But for the career, you have to do the medicine career. For the aspiration, you can decide what you want. My Sim, Charles Durbin, had the knowledge aspiration, and I think that aspiration is kind of cool because eventually you can summon aliens however you want. But the career rewards for The Sims 2 are absolutely insane, but I love it. So I thought as your Sim is earning their money in their career, I thought adding in a side hustle seemed like a good idea. And so for this one, you have to own a pottery shop with The Sims 2 Open for Business. But the rules state, reach level 5 of your medical career, achieve gold badge in pottery, have at least 2 kids, marry your blind date, and then get divorced after the second child, and then eventually start a pottery business. Now, you can decide when you want to start it. You can start at the very beginning or towards at level 5 of your medical career. You decide when you want to do that. But eventually you have to get a gold talent badge in pottery, so that way you can make some good quality, pottery for your business to sell. But for Gen 2, it says Master of Arts. You grew up in a household full of creativity with your father being a world-class doctor and a pottery business owner, and your mother being the CEO of a mega corporation. You wanted to be just like them. One small thing is that your father is not your real father. But will that affect your future if you find your real father? Now, granted, when I made this generation, it was because of the result of what happened in Gen 1 in my own playthrough. So when my Sim, Charles Durbin, found out that his now ex-wife had a baby with our next door neighbor, who is now our enemy, I was like, let's take their child and care for it and make them the heir for added chaos. Do with what you will for this generation. If you want to do it, have fun. But for the career, you have to join the art career, have the knowledge aspiration, and your side hustle is owning an art studio. Again, it can be in your own home or it could be off lot. But for the rules, you have to reach level 10 of the art career, attend university with at least 2 scholarships, reach level 10 of creativity and logic, flirt with one of your professors, and have at least one alien baby. Now, if you're not aware, with the knowledge aspiration, once you reach the top level, you can summon aliens with a special telescope. And if you eventually get that, you can get abducted and then eventually, have a baby. Now, there is a mod out there that you can download where female Sims can have babies, but originally in the game, male Sims who get abducted by aliens get pregnant. So if you have a male Sim, have fun. If you want a female Sim, I will link that mod down below for you all to download in case you want to use it. But for Generation 3, it is out of this world. All you can think about is food. Coming from a different world, or so you think, you've been inspired to try all the foods around the world that one day you want to open up your own restaurant to give people that sense of joy that food brings you. You're ready for your dreams of being a household name to come true. And for me, I love food. I love bob pancakes. I find the idea of running a restaurant so cool. I did it in my Pleasant View save with Angela Pleasant. It crashed and burned because we were very broke and could not manage it very well. But I think Gen 3 will be pretty good. Plus, Gen 3 is an alien, by the way. But for the career, you have to join the culinary career. Your aspiration is popularity. Your side hustle is to open up a restaurant that will eventually become your full-time thing. But reach level 10 of the cooking career, run a lemonade stand as a kid every summer, master the cooking skill and hobby enthusiasm in cuisine, start your restaurant at level 5 of the cooking career, reach rank 10 at your restaurant, win a cooking competition, and write a restaurant guide. These are the things that I have not done in so long. I've never gotten to rank 10 in any of my businesses. I've never won a cooking competition, and I personally have not written a restaurant guide before. So I think it'd be really cool to definitely try out these things when I eventually get there for Gen 3. But for Generation 4, you are a savvy traveler. Now, I named this after the vacation mementos that you get. Once you complete all of them, you eventually get the title called Savvy Traveler. And it reads, growing up in an out-of-this-world family gave you a sense of discoverability to find adventures outside of your hometown. You've been inspired by the idea of nature and writing stories of what it would be like to travel the world and find hidden temples, creatures, and even Bigfoot if he's real. But for your career, you have to join the adventure career. Your aspiration is romance. Your goal is to get gold level in your fishing. So the rules do state, have Bigfoot move into your household, travel to all vacation worlds, write in your journal every week, publish 5 books about your travels, and complete the vacation mementos. And there's 45 vacation mementos, vacation memories. And I find it so cool and very unique because every time you travel, you learn new stuff, whether it's hula dancing, bonfires, sandcastle making, going on the pirate ship, etc., etc. And you even get more vacation mementos as you continue to do more traveling. And in order to find Bigfoot, you need to find the treasure map in the 3 lakes. And so you basically have to dig in the ground, dig for treasure, and then you'll eventually find a map. You might find like some scraps like bones, rocks, random stuff, but eventually you'll find the treasure map that you need to find Bigfoot. Now for Generation 5, I named this generation after Wicked Part 2 that comes out later this year on November 21st, 2025. And granted, I'm a huge Wicked fan. I love musicals. I love Alphaba. I love Glinda. I love the whole vibe of that era. That just everything about it is just so good. But if you're watching this video in the future and Wicked Part 2 is already out, watch it. It's great. I mean, I'll see it when it comes out, but Wicked Part 1, top-notch quality, as we all know. But it is named Wicked for Good, and for the description, they say no one mourns the wicked, but who says they can't be good? You always felt different in your family, that something has changed within you, and you're through following the rules of society on how you're supposed to be. So you settle on your own path to find a real family that isn't afraid of magic, because everything is not what it seems. Now, honestly, I love writing descriptions. I love doing these things like this. I added in a little Wicked. I added in a little bit of Wizards of Waverly Place. If you know that intro, everything is not what it seems. Hello, if you know, you know. But for the career, you have to join the paranormal career. Your aspiration is family. Your goal is to befriend the good witch. And for the rules, it states drop out of university your sophomore year, get pregnant by a university frat man child, learn all the spells and potions, get a feline familiar, bring back your old lover. And the reason why I'm doing it this way, I felt like when you eventually learn all of your spells and potions, you're kind of like doing something. And to befriend the good witch, you have to go to one of the community lots and you'll know it's a good witch. She's sparkling all white with glimmering sunshine everywhere, whereas the bad witch is like green and causing a lot of rain and thunderstorms. But it'll be so much fun to understand how to be a good witch in The Sims 2. And I feel it kind of goes towards to Generation 6, which is show me the money. Money can't buy happiness, or can it? You lived a life that magic could change your life with a flick of a wand. You never understood the idea of magic and how it could change your life. After the spell had gone wrong, you ended up living your life as an orphan with only the clothes on your back and a guitar. Music was the only thing in your life that made you feel safe and sound. Taylor Swift reference, hello. So you put your emotion into your music. And I feel like music in The Sims 2 is so unique and so different to what it is in The Sims 3 and 4, I feel. But I feel like Sims 2 is just like so nice and nostalgic. Plus you can have like drums and you can like produce your own music in this game. It's really, really nice. I mean, we can do it in The Sims 4 and I think in The Sims 3, but this game is just good. So with the fact that you're living as an orphan with the only clothes on your back and your guitar, your career is the music career, your aspiration is the fortune aspiration, and you have to reach 100,000 simoleons in your household funds is that your ultimate goal. And I feel like that seems like a good, reasonable number, I feel. Granted, when your Sims are having a job, they don't earn a lot of money per day, like The Sims 4, where it's per hour. But I feel like there's a lot of good ways that you can earn money through making books, writing music, going out and, performing for tips, like things like that. You eventually it adds up over time. But the rules, you have to live in an apartment until you reach 50,000 simoleons, reach level 8 of the music career, master creativity and charisma, marry a rich sim until level 5 of your career, max music and dance enthusiasm, and study Long Life Happiness book. And the fun thing about The Sims 2, there are like a lot of books that you can, of course, study, but they have one for parenting, long life happiness, anger management, physiology, and I think there's another one that I can't remember. But it's just so interesting that there are things that majorly affect your Sims personality over time, and I feel like Gen 6 has a lot of potential to make it big in the world. Now, Gen 6 goes down to Gen 7, and it says, no biz like showbiz. 2 words, Nepo baby. So, like, Gen 5 or Gen 6 technically is like a celebrity in a way because of their music and they've learned a lot. So, I feel like they've gained a lot of prestige in the world. But with living in the spotlight in the richest part of the city, you always enjoyed listening to your parents' music growing up, and you were introduced to the world of show business. You idolize the stars that look like you on the big screen, and you want to be just like them one day. I mean, there is no biz like showbiz, and that's very true. So for the career, you have to join the show business career. Your aspiration is popularity, and your goal is to get a celebrity star. Now, this is actually one of the career rewards that you get when you join the show business career. And I think that's like so cool because I've never done that career properly, and I've never really like actively played through the career to get the career rewards. I mainly just cheated everything and didn't understand the true value. And now, to be honest, there aren't really a lot of aspirations in The Sims 2. So with each generation, it's kind of repeating certain aspirations, but I'm staggering it out throughout, 3 or 4 gens. But I feel like Gen 7, there's a lot of really good things that you can definitely utilize in your everyday gameplay. Like for the rules, you have to go to university for drama, write a book about your life, max the film and literature enthusiasm, master the creativity, charisma, and logic skill, reach level 10 of the show business career, and get plastic surgery as an elder. And I think this is actually kind of cool and fancy because with this, If you don't know, when The Sims 2 free time came, out, there was a lot of hobby enthusiasms, and each hobby enthusiasm, you get like a membership card to a secret lot that you can go to based on your hobby. And I think Sims 2 free time was the best pack when it came to hobbies and the stuff that you could do off of your lot and meet other people with added gameplay. And so I feel like Gen 7 will have a lot of, highs and a lot of lows, but I think we'll definitely figure out as we continue to play. But for Generation 8, it kind of leads into Gen 8 because based on the story that I wrote. But for Generation 8, family is all I have. Coming from a famous family, you never had the proper care and love you desired as a child. From attending private school and having several nannies, you longed for something more than fame and fortune. You come from a big family and you want to give your kids a life that you never had growing up. And I feel like that's like so true, at least to me. I see a lot of like celebrities and a lot of like people out in the world where they take their kids to a private school or they have a lot of kids and they're so rich and they don't have time and they have nannies. It's so hard, I feel, when you're living the show business life that you have to balance, your work life and your family life. And sometimes it doesn't always work out. And for me with The Sims 2, I'm chaotic. And I feel like I always have a very chaotic family where the last child or the middle child gets very neglected and doesn't have a lot of love and attention that they desire. So they kind of grow up very bad. They run away from home. It's just really hard for them. And so for Generation 8, I thought having the career of education seemed like a good idea because education is very important to me. And I think honestly, the more education you learn, the better. But for the aspiration, it is family. Secondary aspiration is knowledge. And your goal is to reach a golden anniversary. But the rules is to have 3 kids, adopt 1 pet, study the parenting book, max your cleaning and cooking skill, go on a family vacation every summer, whether it's, to the Twiki Islands, Takazumi Village, or the Three Lakes, or your own custom vacation world that you download or make yourself. Make Santa cookies for the winter season and run away as a teenager. So you have to run away as a teen when you're playing with Gen 7, but that definitely ties into Generation 9. Now, what I really love about Gen 9, Twilight, of course, but with the Sims 2 teen style stuff, the little cover art was like split down the middle. One was very pink and preppy, and the other side was very dark and gothic. And I always thought, the gothic style, especially back then, was like emo and Twilight and vampires and darkness. Then I'm like, let's make Generation 9 a vampire. So it says, we sparkle in the twilight, and if you know Twilight, they don't burn, they sparkle. Okay, like shimmering diamonds, they sparkle. But for Gen 9, there's a saying that people who live in a big family are supposed to be happy. Well, that's not the case for you the day you turn into a vampire. You always felt like you were the villain in your own origin story, being distant from the family on vacation, with your head always in the books. The creature inside you says, hold on, spider monkey, because your life will change forever. Maybe learning the world of science will help you understand who you truly are. Now, I'm tying in a lot of Twilight references because, Edward Cullen did say, hold on, spider monkey to Bella Swan in the movie. And plus, Edward Cullen was very in his books. He read a lot. I mean, that's all he really did. He does not sleep. He always reads. He's always learning, traveling, doing things that will better him for his future and especially his brain development. And so for this one, I thought it'd be really cool to do the science career and also have the pleasure aspiration. Now, with the science career specifically, there's a career reward that you get where you can make cures and diseases and ultimately destroy the entire world. But I thought with The Sims 2, especially Generation 9, it seemed doable. But for the rules, it says become a vampire as a teen, have a baby with a vampire, have at least 2 kids, max your logic skill and fitness skill, because, logic, smart, fitness, strong, fast, you know. But also cure your sim until the last child is a teenager. Because I feel like eventually once you learn who you truly are, you'll eventually be realizing that maybe being, a vampire is not for me. So I want to cure myself. And you can actually buy that from the matchmaker gypsy lady who's in The Sims 2 that you can call. And you can get a little cure to cure yourself. But I don't know. I feel like Gen 9 will be very experimental with a lot of things, and feel free, change the rules, add new rules if you want to. Ultimately, when you do this challenge, all I want you to do is have fun with what you're doing and not stress out, because I know rules can be very demanding and very scary, but if you want to, change a few things and make it your own and have fun, feel free. But for the last and final generation is Generation 10. It's not so easy being green, and I titled it after, Wicked for Good, Wicked Alpha Who's Green. However, this generation is not a witch and they're not evil. But it does state that the supernatural never interested you as a kid, but as you got older, you learned more about your parents' past of who they were after their untimely passing. You were an active kid, always outside playing in the dirt, catching butterflies, and sometimes you'll sleep outside in your tent to get fresh air. You become fascinated with the idea of nature and wanted to achieve that green thumb. Now, with this one, I have never really played as like a full-on plant sim. Of course, there is a plant sim family in River Blossom Hills, and I didn't play with them that much because they were already there, and I wanted to experience what it was like to turn into one rather than already being one. And so with this one, for the career, you have to be a natural scientist, have the knowledge aspiration. Your secondary aspiration is the grilled cheese aspiration, and your goal is to become a plant sim. The rules you state: get a cow plant, max your nature hobby enthusiasm, have a plant baby, and have the perfect farm or garden, and then achieve the gold talent badge in gardening. Now, granted, having the perfect farm and garden, you can determine what that is for you, whether it's having 5 trees, a plethora of fruits and veggies, a big gigantic greenhouse. You can do what you want, however you want. For me, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have all the trees, all the fruits and veggies, like basically straight up Stardew Valley, but in The Sims 2. But essentially, that is the entire legacy challenge as a whole of the descriptions, the rules, and the careers, aspirations, and side hustles. So that is the entire legacy challenge as a whole, and I could have not done it alone. Me and my Twitch community made this together on stream, and it was so much fun to figure out what each gen was going to be and how they were going to be like based on their story, their careers, their aspirations, the rules that would make them very unique and set them apart from each and every gen. And if you end up doing this challenge for yourself, please let me know. If you do it on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, whatever you do, I would love to be tagged in anything that you do. I'm SpringSims on literally every single platform you can think of. And I want to see what you ultimately do in your game. And if you don't have The Sims 2, I will be converting this into a Sims 4 version challenge. So that way, if you have The Sims 4, you could do it and have fun as well. But if you have The Sims 2 and you want to try it for yourself, I will link everything down below in the description, along with a few mods that I think would very be helpful for certain gens, like maybe one for the Gen 2 and maybe Gen 3. But of course, the mods are definitely optional. You don't have to download them, but if you do, I will have the links for you as always. But like I said, this is the end of the video. I do hope you all enjoyed this legacy challenge. I do stream this all on my Twitch channel, and also all the VODs are on my secondary YouTube channel, More Spring Sims. But regardless, I do hope you all enjoyed it. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!